Hi, welcome to Territory Logic. My name is Sam and this is your dispatch. Here is what's moving today. White collar workers get absolutely obliterated by AI and politicians are finally paying attention. But here's the thing, while everyone's debating job losses, the Pentagon just got a massive fight with Anthropic over autonomous weapons, and that is just the beginning. This is personal. The AI job apocalypse isn't coming, it's here. And it's not hitting the way you think it would be hitting. New data from multiple sources show AI is absolutely decimating white-collar jobs at a rate that's honestly shocking. We're talking about legal services, architecture, administrative work, the jobs that were supposed to be safe. Here's what's wild. Over the next 5 years, these sectors are facing massive displacement. And for the first time, politicians are actually starting to care about these white-collar job losses. Why? Because these are educated professional voters who show up to elections. But here's the question nobody's asking. What happens when the people who make policy suddenly find their jobs are threatened by the same technology we've been promoting? The Yale Budget Lab just dropped research showing we're in completely uncharted territory with AI labour displacement. This isn't the Industrial Revolution where new jobs eventually replace old ones. This is different. This is cognitive work being automated at scale. And honestly, I don't think most people realise how fast this is actually moving. The Pentagon's Chief Technology Officer just revealed he's been in a massive clash with Anthropic over autonomous weapons development. And this exposes something huge about AI safety. While OpenAI is cozying up to defense contracts, Anthropic is pushing back hard on military applications. But here's the thing though, this isn't about ethics, it's about marketing position. The company that controls military AI contracts controls the future of warfare, and every major AI lab knows it. The feud is reshaping the entire AI safety conversation because when national security gets involved, all those safety principles suddenly become negotiable. The European Parliament just banned AI tools on lawmaker devices over fears the US data leakage, and let that sink in for a second. The people writing AI regulations in Europe can't literally use AI because they don't trust American companies with their data. This is geopolitical warfare disguised as cybersecurity policy. Meanwhile, France is quietly leading a campaign to water down EU AI regulations from the inside. So Europe is simultaneously the most restrictive on AI regulations and the most divided on how to actually implement it. The irony is incredible. They're regulating technology they're afraid to even touch. New research shows AI hiring tools are exhibiting complex gender and racial biases that are actually worse than human discrimination in some cases. We're talking about algorithmic systems that systematically rank job applications based on perceived race and gender from their names alone. The University of Washington found these tools are essentially automating discrimination. The kicker, most companies using these tools have no idea how biased their AI hiring systems actually are. The UK just criminalised deepfake creations this week, and they're going hard after platforms like X over sexual deepfakes. We're talking about thousands of non-consensual and intimate images being generated daily, and the government is treating this as a national security issue. But here's what is getting interesting. They're not just targeting creators, they're going after the platforms that host these AI tools. Grok sexual deepfake capabilities are about to become illegal in the UK, and Elon Musk's companies are under investigation by data regulators. This is the first major test on whether governments can actually control AI-generated content, or if the technology has already escaped regulatory capture. A mystery AI project that everyone thought was DeepSeek version 4 just got revealed as Xiaomi's secret project, and this tells us something huge about global AI race. Chinese companies are dropping models so advanced that experts can't even identify who built them anymore. While American companies are fighting over Pentagon contracts, Chinese firms are quietly releasing capabilities that are making people question everything they thought they knew about AI development. Does anybody else find this completely wild? We're in the world where consumer electronic companies are building frontier AI models in complete secret. Tech CEOs are now openly bragging about AI mass layoffs, and the mask is completely off. We're seeing executives literally boast about replacing human workers with AI as a competitive advantage. Block just announced a 40% layoff of positions as an AI strategy win for shareholders. This isn't quiet automation anymore. This is public celebration of job displacement. The messaging has shifted from AI will augment human workers to AI will replace human workers, and that's great for our margins. Honestly, this honesty is almost refreshing, even if the implications are absolutely terrifying. Now, one thing you need to know today. Everyone's covering the AI job displacement story wrong. They're focused on what jobs are at risk, how many people will be unemployed, whether politicians actually care about these jobs, but they're missing the real signal in this noise. The signal is, we're watching the first technology-driven class war in human history, and it's happening in real time. This isn't about blue collar versus white collar anymore. This isn't about education levels or skill set. It's about who owns the AI versus who gets replaced by it. Goldman Sachs estimates that 300 million jobs globally will be affected by AI automation, but here's what they're not saying. Every single one of those displaced workers becomes economically dependent on a handful of companies that control the AI systems. We're not just talking about unemployment, we're talking about the complete restructuring of economic power in society. The Pentagon fighting with Anthropic over weapons. That's about who controls the monopoly of violence. Europe banning AI tools over data sovereignty. That's about who controls information. China secretly developing frontier models. That's about who controls the future of human capability. This isn't a job crisis. This is a power consolidation event disguised as technological progress. And the scariest part, most people still think this is about who's making more work efficient. The companies building these systems aren't just replacing workers, they're positioning themselves as an essential infrastructure of human civilization. When you can't work without their AI, can't work without their models, can't create work with their tools, you're not unemployed, you're just a dependent. That's the signal that everyone's missing. We're not heading towards mass unemployment, we're heading towards mass dependency on a tiny number of AI owners, and that changes everything about how power works in society. That's your dispatch. The job wars are here and politicians are scrambling. The Pentagon is fighting AI companies over weapons, Europe is banning the tools they're trying to regulate, and Chinese companies are dropping mysterious models that nobody saw coming. But the real story, we're watching economic power concentrate in the hands of whoever controls the AI, and most people still think it's just about productivity. We'll be back tomorrow for what's moving next. Hit subscribe if you want the intelligence that matters, not just the headlines that everyone else is chasing.